as the DXY has just set its first higher high in months. Has this Bitcoin pullback already ended, or is this the definition of the hurt before the squirt? As over the last 24 hours, Bitcoin has broken below the 200-day moving average, down to about 44,000 and bounced back up to about 46,000. There's something much, much bigger playing out on these charts right now. I'm your host, Patrick Peppernuts, and wow, there's so much going on in these charts right now, and we're going to cover each and every little itsy bitsy bit of it because there is so many things and so many opinions right now. And guys, as we talked about just 2 days ago, this is one of those moments you look for right before a dump. Well, we've gotten a little bit of one, but has the worst come yet? Well, that's what we're going to be diving into right now. So if you guys are new channel, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and just miss absolutely time-sensitive alerts. And without any further ado, let's get dumped on. Wow, so as Bitcoin set new local lows yesterday around 44K, guys, and having a move right up to about 46K with just within the last half hour or so, many people saying this dip is over. However, I urge extreme caution here. And I think a lot of people might be getting caught with their panties behind their ears over the next few days, as we've been talking about. Keep in mind, guys, I definitely think Bitcoin's going to 6 digits this year. I think altcoins are going to absolutely knock our socks off, okay? I'm just extremely excited for my alt positions over the next couple of months. But with that being said, as I've been saying for about a week now, the structure we see playing out right here, in my opinion, okay, could always be wrong. This could always head higher, but in my opinion, to me, this does not scream new all-time highs by next week. Wow, so if we take a look on this chart, we're going to analyze all these different time frames because there is so much going on. First off, as we talked about in the intro, DXY actually has been able to set a new high. We had kind of like a double top we saw on July 22nd and August 11th, and now we finally breached that. It was right around 93.2. We talked about it yesterday, and we went all the way up to about 93.264. Currently, we're at like 93.21, so very slightly there. The biggest high to break, obviously, around 93.44. Let's just round up to 93.5 there. But obviously, I'm not bullish on the DXY, but there is a potential in the very short term for some continued upside, which in the short term would also help bring Bitcoin a little bit lower. And as well, the SPX was up about 10 minutes ago, but now we actually see it down. So it's had a little bit of a move over the last even 30 minutes. Because what exactly is going on here with Bitcoin? So yesterday we plummeted below the 200-day moving average. Okay. And keep in mind, all of these levels of support have been on this chart for literal months. I drew them back, I think actually maybe around June for some of these. Some of these are newer, some of these are older, but bounced right at this level, kind of expected there. But the big question is, are we still in the middle of a breakdown? Okay, because we've had a little bit of a bounce, just like we actually did the other day. Now, does that negate anything? So if we take a look here on the 4-hour chart with Bitcoin, we talked about this. So we had this rising wedge. We came down, found support right here. Okay. We came back right up, got rejected exactly at this was previous support line, potentially now is turned into a big resistance line. Okay, we came back down to this level and we fell below it. Okay, so that's a big key right there. We kind of just fell to the next short-term support right around 44K. A little above 44K is where we ultimately bounced yesterday, around 44.2. But now we've made a little bit of a move back up into this box. Now, if I'm looking at this chart and being objective, this is not any confirmation just yet of a bullish reversal. In fact, getting rejected here, I think would absolutely help us make another giant leg down to probably our next target around 43K. But as well, if you guys are interested in trading a bunch of altcoins, either on spot or with contracts, there's a bunch here on Femex with the link below. Basically all of the top alts that people are interested in trading. And before we go any further, 40 to 42K is kind of that ultimate pullback target that we potentially talked about before heading to 55, 65 plus $1,000 per Bitcoin and entering an absolute mania explosion. Okay, absolutely explosive. But with that being said, I think a lot of people are expecting 40, 42K. So somebody who actually responded that, he's saying about 43, mid 43K range. Even though 40 to 42K looks like a very nice looking pullback area, you know, I could see it actually go a little bit above that, so not quite down there. But basically the point is that would still require a decent amount of downside here. So what is happening right now is actually very big. So after we had this bounce, we came right back up to the 21 and 50 moving averages on this 4-hour chart, where they almost had a bearish cross, which I personally think we're going to be seeing over the next day or two anyway, right here. And so far, that's where we've gotten a little bit of rejection. And keep in mind, if we want this to flip to be bullish at all, we need to break like 46.5 in my opinion, and actually remain there for a very long amount of time, at least 3 to 4 6-hour candles above that. So not even 24 hours, not an entire day, but getting above that range. And keep in mind, even if we did do that, that's not like an ultimate confirmation we're going straight to 50. That would still be lower highs, okay? We have this high, this high, this high. Now, if this is our high, this is very clearly a lower high, but anything below 47,000 would also be a lower high. So again, we still have a decent amount of room we could move to the upside here over the next day or two. That would still signal we could continue this breakdown. Again, which is personally what I'm leaning to here. Again, none of this, in my opinion, screams anything other than normal price action during a breakdown. Okay, and you can just look at any chart to see that, right? This is an hourly chart. We have a nice move up, and then we had a pullback where I'm sure a lot of people were screaming, oh, geez, the pump is over. And then what happened? We went back up, and then we had a pullback where a lot of people were probably screaming, oh, the pump is over. Same thing here, especially here after we set a lower low from this low, right? I'm sure a lot of people were screaming, oh, geez, we're going back down to 40K. That's not what happened. We were within a bullish structure there. But in my opinion now, in the short term, over the next couple of days, as I've been saying, I still think we're well within a bearish structure to where I think, just because we had a move up doesn't mean anything. Moves up and down are absolutely expected in a pullback and a breakout to the upside. So my point is here, we actually got rejected right here at these two moving averages, which is important to break above this. Currently, we're trying to maintain this 6-hour candle above this one. We were held down for about 2 6-hour candles here on this 50 on the 6-hour chart. 45.5 is the key level we want to remain above, okay? But if we go to these short-term charts as well, we're kind of battling also this 50 moving average on the 1 hour. And yeah, looking on this daily chart, clearly we want to get a few daily closes above the 200 day before we can expect to see new local highs, and especially before we see all-time highs. So with that being said, we have had a nice move up here, but I mean, any chart can show you this. I actually want to forget all this data over the last few months and maybe even look at a situation like this, where this is, if anything, maybe the closest situation that I'm personally looking for, where we have a nice move up, we get a pullback, okay, where a lot of people probably think that's it, it's over, but then we blast to insane price levels. So this kind of structure, if anything, is what I personally think we're in the middle of right now. And if this is the entire structure, I think we're somewhere potentially in this range. So with that being said, we had a nice move, 42K, all the way back down to 30K. And then we had a crazy move back up to 40K. But after we reached 40K, did we then break it? No, we had a continued move to the downside. Basically, my point here is, I think a lot of people, as I said in the intro, about a lot of people getting caught with their panties behind their ears, especially if you go on the cryptocurrency subreddit, which I think is the very first place new people go to crypto. It was the very first place I went roughly about 5 years ago when I got into crypto, was the cryptocurrency subreddit. I didn't even know technical analysis was a thing, and here I am trying to trade and predict bottoms and tops of price, which is probably the case for 99% of the people that sit in the cryptocurrency subreddit as well. And let's just say, this move does absolutely have the capability to continue to go down a little bit lower before we ultimately do reverse, okay? So with that being said, I think we can't really even start to invalidate this until we would break above 47K and hold there for a couple of days. Really, I think it would just be healthier for the market. But keep in mind, the one big level of support that we do have below us is that 21-week moving average, right around a little over 43.5 thousand right now. So less than $1,000 where we've bottomed so far in this local move. We have very strong support below us, but keep in mind, there is a lot pushing us down as well. And this little bounce right here has tricked some people, especially in the crypto subreddit, as I've seen. So with that being said, everything remains exactly the same. Breaking below 44K is going to be a big test if we can actually manage that. We had these lows back on August 12th. But keep in mind, we always have the possibility that this could just turn very bullish, but I would hold off until we break 47K and can actually spend some time above that before getting too bullish, because now we have a few confirmed lower highs on this chart and lower lows. There's some clear structure that's been playing out. There is a obvious bearish divergence as well on the daily chart. So you just need to be patient with these moves. And especially if you're watching YouTube videos every single day, and if you're watching the charts at least once an hour, it is increasingly easier and easier to be faked out, because you see these little pumps and you think, oh geez, maybe I was wrong, but you have to stick to your plan. Where I personally think that this personally still is a breakdown. If we break above 47K, as I said, and can hold that, okay, then we can consider that potentially this pullback's already over. But in my opinion, guys, I think the writing is on the wall. And as I said a few days ago, I think this is a pretty clear pattern. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit like, subscribe, share in this video to see these absolutely time-sensitive alerts. And without any further ado, that's it for me. Bye-bye.